Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. Namaskar, friends. Welcome to Rotary Legacy Fridays on Bringle Talks YouTube channel. Let me start this with a quote. Partnerships defines progress, and purpose defines partnerships. Confused? Let me just talk about this space where we don't just talk about service. We talk about sustainability, legacy, and nation building. For more than a century, Rotary has been the heartbeat of humanity. From eradicating polio to building schools, hospitals, shelters. But the world has changed. The needs are bigger. The challenges are more complex and the expectations are far, far higher. Today we stand at a crossroads when at one side, the pride of Rotary's century-long legacy is kind of showing us a hope, a growth. But on the other side, there is an urgency of reinventing how we fund, design, and sustain impact. And the truth is that the world of social impact is shifting very, very fast, extremely fast, like a lightning one. Corporates are no longer just donating, they are investing in impact through CSR. Governments are no longer just implementing, they're partnering for innovation. Communities are no longer just receiving, they're demanding inclusion. There are so many social impact funds who have closed down because they could not understand this blended concept of sustainable impact over self. So the real question before us is this: can Rotary and CSR come together to redefine the future of nation building? Because if they do, the next century of Rotary will not just be remembered for its service, but for creating a self-sustainable ecosystem of education, employment, and entrepreneurship, and even environment, social impact, and governance. The partnerships that build the future are the ones born not from profit, but from purpose. We've been thinking about profits, non-profits. Let's begin with a simple hard truth. There is a changing face of CSR happening from checks to real change. In the last decade, India's CSR spending has crossed 1.5 lakh crores. Thousands of crores are being poured into education, health, environment, and skilling. And yet, the gap between investment and impact still feels painfully wide. Why? Because much of CSR today is still transactional, not transformational. I see a lot of corporates building schools, putting up infrastructure, but there are no teachers. They fund campaigns, but not continuity. They create visibility, but not sustainability. And this is where Rotary holds a secret advantage: trust. Rotary is not new to service. Rotary itself is service. It has the network, credibility, human capital that CSR initiatives desperately need. But here is the fear. If Rotary doesn't evolve its model, corporates will soon bypass Rotary altogether, creating their own foundations, already happening, and parallel ecosystems. That's not competition, that's a wake-up call. Because the truth is, the world no longer funds charity, it funds sustainability. If Rotary continues to rely only on annual donations and short-term grants, its projects will struggle for continuity. But if it builds long-term CSR plus social venture fund partnerships, Rotary can become the preferred partner for purpose-led corporates. Not just in India, but globally. CSR without soul is just a PR. But when CSR meets Rotary, it becomes nation building. That is all about the social venture fund revolution, which is a new model of impact for impact. Let's talk about the missing link, the social venture fund, SVF. For decades, Rotary has raised funds the old way through collections, dinners, and donations. But today's world needs a model that combines compassion with cash flow. The Social Venture Fund is not a charity. It is a sustainable financial engine that ensures impact that never stops. Think of it like this. CSR provides the capital, Rotary provides the credibility, the Social Venture Fund provides continuity. I'll repeat and listen it carefully. CSR provides the capital, Rotary provides the credibility, and SVF, a social venture fund, provides the continuity. Together, they form a triangle of trust. CSR fuels projects. Rotary ensures transparency. SVF guarantees sustainability. That's the new language of impact. I'll repeat again from the start. CSR provides the capital, Rotary provides the credibility, Social Venture Fund provides continuity. Together they form a triangle of trust. CSR fuels projects, Rotary ensures transparency, and SVF guarantees sustainability. That's the new language of impact, not one-time help, but lifetime value. Imagine this once. A Rotary club partners with a corporate CSR arm and a social venture fund. They cooperate or co-create a sustainable skills hub in a tier 2 town. Within a year, 500 youth are trained in EV maintenance, digital marketing, renewable energy, and many other upcoming technologies. In 3 years, the hub becomes self-sufficient, employing locals, exporting skills, and inspiring nearby districts. That's not a project, that's a movement. A model that can replicate itself across 700 districts of India, turning villages into skills hub and youth into entrepreneurs, transforming 1 lakh individuals in every city of India. That's how we move from dependency to dignity, from charity to change, from service to sustainability, and that's what Project Lucky Bag is all about. True legacy is not built by cutting ribbons. It's by creating systems that never stop serving. This vision is not just about Rotary. It's about India. The Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao movement is about reclaiming India's golden legacy, a time when we were the global capital of trade, wisdom, and innovation. But this time, our gold won't be in jewelry or palaces. It will be in skills, startups, and sustainability. There is a saying, any thief can steal your jewelry, gold, money, but they cannot steal your wisdom, your mind. And that is what the real Sone Ki Chidiya, which we have to awaken. Mission Zero is the core of Vision 2030 and 2047, connecting every Rotary and CSR goal. Because Mission Zero unemployment, no child grows up without opportunity, and Mission Net Zero takes care of every project is environmentally regenerative. And it all combines all the 17 sustainable development goals of United Nations. When CSR, Rotary, and social venture funds align with this vision, we don't just build communities, we rebuild civilizations. The entire country, entire world. Imagine in India where every Rotary project becomes a self-sustaining business model, where every corporate CSR rupee multiplies through local entrepreneurship, where every social impact generates both jobs and joy. That's not philanthropy, that's nation building. That's what awakening the golden bird truly means. Because the real measure of a nation's wealth is not in its GDP, but in its people's dignity. Legacy is not what we leave behind. It's what we live every single day. And Rotary, when powered by CSR and social venture funds, can lead a new era where purpose fuels profit, where compassion meets capitalism, where legacy meets livelihood. Rotary's next 100 years will not be defined how much we give, but how deeply we sustain. Because the future of service is not in giving more, it is in giving smarter. When Rotary evolves from service above self to sustainable impact above self, it will not just survive the next century, it will lead it. Do dare to dream big or die wondering what could have been your $1 billion dream. Rotary Legacy Fridays is a journey of reflection, reinvention, and rediscovery. Rotary has changed the world for more than a century now. We have eradicated polio, built schools, hospitals, water systems across continents. But today I want to ask this difficult question. Will Rotary really survive the next 100 years? Because while Rotary heart beats strong, its pulse is slowing in places where it matters most. Where youth have moved on, where corporates no longer write checks, where impact has become a metric, not a mission. CSR spends in India have crossed 1.5 lakh crores. And yet a dropout rate in schools, unemployment and inequality persist. Why? Because much of what we call service today is still event-based, not ecosystem-based. Rotary built classrooms and a lot of organizations like that. But are children really learning? Rotary builds hospitals, but can families still afford treatment? Rotary builds wells, but are we creating livelihoods or dependencies? The truth is, we have become excellent at activity, but we need to return to excellence in impact. Because impact is not what you do for people, it's what people can continue doing because of you. And that's where our story begins. The next era of Rotary will not be built on donations. It will be built on partnerships. The partnerships that build the future are the ones born not from profit, but from purpose. Next week, on Friday, Rotary Legacies on Bringle Talks YouTube channel, we will uncover how CSR is changing the game and why Rotary must evolve now or risk being left behind. This is very, very important. Let's talk about checks to change, the new CSR reality. In the last decade, India's CSR law has changed the way businesses think about giving. Over 1.5 lakh crores have been spent, making India as one of the largest CSR ecosystems in the world. But here is the question, has all this money really created long-term change? The honest answer is not yet. And whilst Rotary Legacy of Trust makes it as a natural CSR partner, corporates are now building their own foundation, their own teams, their own branding. Here is the fear. If Rotary doesn't adapt its model, CSR will evolve without Rotary. That's not a missed opportunity. It's a generation loss of credibility. CSR without soul is just a PR, as I mentioned. But when CSR meets Rotary, it becomes nation building. Let's build work on what most corporates crave: transparency, trust, and talent. Rotary's credibility, corporates, India's capital, the social venture fund sustainability. And that's what we will uncover next week. How the social venture fund is changing the way world funds purpose. Let's talk about the power triangle. We will talk more about it next week. In a world where donations dried up, grants takes years to prove, new model of impact is emerging, the social venture fund. Every rupee invested generates not just impact but income. Every project built becomes self-sustaining within years. A Rotary club in Varthur partners with the corporate CSR and social venture fund. They build a skill hub training 500 youth in AV tech, AI, renewable energy. In 3 years, the hub runs profitably, reinvesting profits into new centers. That's not a one-time success story. That's a replicable model of 700 districts in India, every city in the country. That's how you scale service into systems. True legacy is not built by cutting ribbons. It's built by creating systems that never stop serving. Because that's the India we dream of. That's the India we are building. And it starts with you, your awareness, your intention, your purpose. Watch Bringle Talks YouTube channel 10 minutes every day at 2x speeds for 100x plus growth. Click below the link to download the ebooks and book your one-on-one non-obligatory call. Join the Rotary Legacy movement because the next 100 years of Rotary begins with you. Keep bringing, keep growing. So let's speak loud. Jagao, jagao, har ghar tiranga ke saath, har ghar sone ki chidiya ko jagao. Keep spreading the Bringle dream wave. Let's awaken the, golden bird. Let's awaken the golden bird hidden inside each of you. Inspire others to dream big. Help them achieve their billion-dollar dream, and motivate them to pass it on to at least 3 people in their network. See you next week on Rotary Legacy Fridays. And do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Bringle Talks and turn the notifications on.